Hello internet friends, my name is Catherine and I'm the human behind Creation Miss Couture. And today we're leaving no dye behind because I had a cupboard full of leftover dye. And how did I create those leftover dye? Basically, every time that I speckle yarn, I usually use gloved hands to speckles the dry powder onto my skeins of yarn in my pan. So usually it results, hello Zoe, in a lot of leftovers of unknown depth of shades in those jars. So today we're just going to play around and see what we can come up with. So let's get into this. Ooh, looks like we've got a lot of leftovers. You know what that means? It's another episode of Leave No Die. All right, so let me grab those and we shall see what we have to work with today. Okay, I found more stuff that we're hiding behind stuff. So I don't think we're going to be using all of those colors. So I'm just going to do a quick tissue test and see what we have to work with, and we're going to decide from there what. Okay, so that looks brown. Okay, so this is green. Yeah, I figured that this one was going to be yellow. Pink. Okay. Pretty. So I think this one and this one are the same color. Can I reach? Can I reach? No! Okay, well, it's lost to the abyss. Okay, and this one seems to be the same as this one. I've been working a lot with the same color lately, I think. Okay, this looks purple. Is it purple? I don't know what color it is. It looks so pigmented in the jar, and then you're doing the tissue thing, and okay, this one is green, and there's barely any pigment on the tissue. I hate that. And I'm missing one tissue. But it looks peach. Might be peach blush. Okay, so, okay, what should we work with? That's the question. I don't really feel like working with yellow, so maybe we could remove this one. And I don't really want... Okay, so I think I'm going to mix... Oops. Those two. I know they're not the same blue, but just for the fun of it. Okay. So we know we can work with pink, blue, this. Okay, so I'm going to remove from the workbench because I'm starting to feel overwhelmed. I'm going to remove the ones that I know I won't be working with. Okay, so just so I don't fry my brain. Okay, so we can work with this one. We can work with this. We can work with this. Maybe not two browns. Oh, I have so much brown. Oh gosh, what did I do? Oh yeah, I was speckling something and I had lots of leftover. Okay, we're going to work with this. I feel like those two are the same, so I'm going to mix them together. Okay. Because I don't want to necessarily work on... We could probably do something with this as well. We can barely see anything. Okay, now we can actually see something. Okay. So I think I'm going to put those back where they were. Okay. So we know we're going to be working with this. So that's 6 colors. Okay, okay. I don't know what I want to do yet, but we'll get into the pan and see what we can do with this. I'm going to do a lower immersion so that way I can work with this. Okay, see you in the pan. Okay, so we're going to add our acid right away because we have lots of colors that needs to get into the skeins. And we're going to be using my classic sock, which is a 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon blend. And we're going to do 4 cups of tap water in there. 4 cups of tap water. Here we go. Okay. And since the brown is the color that seems to be the one with the most pigment, we're going to start with that one in our pan. There seems to be a mix of orange in that brown, so maybe I mixed some colors together already. Who knows? Not me, that's for sure. Let's add our skeins, and we're going to be working with resist. So we're going to be adding twists into our yarn to work this color. 1 skein, 2 skein, 3, and 4 skeins. Okay, so we're going to turn on the heat and let this color strike. Okay, see you in a bit. Okay, so we've waited about, I would say, 5-10 minutes for this, and most of the color seems to have absorbed. So this time I think I'm going to do something slightly different than what I usually do, and I think what I'm going to do is just like work in a zigzag formation and add different colors so that way we can try to use as much. Oh, that's so cute. I like that brown. And oh, here's the swatch we did. We found it. That's so cute though. Okay, concentration please, Catherine. No, not this. I think I'm going to add that peachy color that we had earlier. Ooh, I love that. That's so pretty. That's very beach vibe likes. Ooh, I like that. Okay. And it seems to be absorbing rather quickly, which is nice. We love that when it happens. Okay, but we're still going to let this strike a few minutes, and then we'll come back. We are going to untwist those twists, twist it from on the other side, and then we'll work with the rest. All right, see you in a minute. Okie dokie. So we waited a little bit. So we're going to squeeze the excess out. Right there. The excess of water, I mean. I think it's going to be very pretty. Okay. Now we're going to be adding, I think that we're going to be adding the blue. Yep. Oh, maybe it's purple. I don't know. Okay, so we're going to twist our skeins the opposite direction that we had earlier, but the same amount of twist. So there will be the same amount of resist in the skeins. I think that's going to be a very interesting color. Okay. And there was so little pigment in that purple that it's pretty much already all struck to the yarn. So what I'm going to do is add the pink that we had earlier. And I think I'm going to go with a zigzag as well. And we're going to add that little bit of purple we had, but I think I'm just going to do the top. Oops. And we found the the little swatch we had earlier. So technically we already used all the colors that we had that I've chosen earlier, but I think maybe I should add more to it. I think I'm gonna grab that brown we had. Maybe, yeah, I think that's what I should do. So, I like that. I think I'm going to wait before adding this. Yeah. Okay. So what we're going to do now that this color has struck is going to remove the excess water, because you can see, because we had resist, the middle of the skein is still pretty white. So what I think I'm going to do to work on this is I'm going to turn inside out the skeins. Yeah, I'm going to turn the skeins inside out. And I think I'm going to be working them flat. Yeah. Oh, you know what? I don't want to work it flat because I want to keep some of those colors. So I will add some resist. So, you know what? Just like that. Because there's so little pigment in it anyways. So that way we can expose the center of the skein that didn't receive color due to the fact that it was, well, due to the resistance we had incorporated in it. Okay, that's very interesting. I like those colors. Okay, so I don't know if you remember, but I had like 4 container of brown. So I think what I'm going to do is do a little zigzaggy friendly here. And as you can see, now that we have much more liquid in the pan, the color has a tendency to stay put where it is. So it won't spread as much because there's a lot of, like, it creates more resistance. So the color doesn't move as much. It's already starting to absorb quite a lot. Okay. That's such a nice color. It reminds me of the color I did a while back called Riverstone. That reminds me of this. Very subtle and cute colors. I'm so sad I don't have any more of that color anymore, but it's fine. It's fine. I could try to recreate it. I think I have. I think I have the recipe for that. I should make more. It was such a fun color to do. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so the brown is getting in, and you can see that what we had white is slowly turning like beige-ish. Like there's a pink undertone in that brown that we just put in, which I think complements very well the colors that we had. And I don't think I'm going to add any more of my leftover dyes, but it did amazing dent in my stash of leftover dyes. I'm super happy. And you know what I want to do? I think I'm going to add some speckles. Yes, I'm going to add speckles. And I feel like it's going to add a little oomph to this. The question is, what kind of speckles I want? Because I could add some brown, but they're the brown is not really much. Okay, maybe. Ooh, I should add tornado gray. That would look so pretty. Yes. Okay. So we have tornado gray here, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a strainer to add the speckles. Oh no, I think there's too much. There's too much. Oh no. My bad. Oops. That's why I don't usually use the strainer. Shoot. Creepy doodle. Oh well, that's life. It will still be pretty. It's not. It's just not going to be spickly. It's fine. It's fine. So we're going to let this cook for another half an hour to let everything strike properly, let the speckles settle, and all of that. And we're going to clean it later on. All right. See you in a bit. So I'm not expecting any bleeding here when it comes to this specific color, simply due to the fact that we have a leave no dye behind. Although the colors seem super pigmented in the jars, it's not actually that pigmented, and we have such subtle colors that we're not expecting any bleeding from this color. But it is still good to remove the excess dyes if there is any, and it's also good to wash off a little bit of the acid that were added to the dye bath. So it's always a good idea to wash your skeins even though you're pretty sure that you won't have any bleeding. And in this case we have some speckles that went a little sidetrack, so just for that specific condition I wanted to make sure that we had removed all excess dye. And I'm very happy with how how we didn't leave any dye behind in this situation. See you in the final result. And here's the final result for the leave no dye that we had. So you can see that it's very much on the neutral tones, and this is also good. Well, it's neutral warm-ish, I would say, just due to those pink that we have, and those are from the chocolate brown, I believe, leftover dyes that we had. It created those beautiful warm tone over here, but we still have lots of negative space, and we still have a lot of cool tones. So I think it's going to be such a beautiful color knit up together or crochet, with little hint here and there. And I was very happily surprised to see that the tornado gray we added isn't too, it's not too bad. It's not speckly as much as I want it to be, but if we look over here, we still have some speckle, but it definitely came and toned down and cooled down the overall color of this skein of yarn. So this is definitely something that needs to be kept in mind when you're working with different colors. The undertone and the warmth of them will go and play together. However, when you don't exactly know what you have in your jars, it is what it is, and you do with it what you can. Overall, I'm very happy with the color, and I mentioned that it reminded me of the color Riverstone. It kind of does, and I was able to find a skein that I was going to ship out to someone who purchased it. So just before sending it out to its new home, this is my Riverstone color, and this is the skeins we dyed with the leftover colors. So you can see that there is a lot of similarities with those pink color over here and some of the darker brownish. However, they're still different due to the fact that this one has a lot of rusty orange yellow in it, and the blues are very different. So this one is more sharper and this one is more subtle in terms of it, but they complement each other, I believe. So this one will be more variegated than this one, but it is still very pretty and I think it is fantastic. So if you've liked the video, please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing to the channel, and I will see you in my next one very soon. Thank you. Bye.